Alright, moving right along with wide receivers. I'm just going to make a bunch here because I've got the opportunity to for a little bit now, so I might as well try and clear up all the skill positions on offense while I'm here. So, wide receivers. A lot of people know about quite a bit about this position because, well, when you look around the league, a lot of the players with big mouths play wide receiver. Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens, that crew, they play wide receiver. There's something about being a wide receiver that makes your mouth big. I don't know. Anyway, up here in Seattle, we of course just unloaded Darrell Jackson for a fourth round pick, a late fourth round pick, so that doesn't feel good. I mean, I was sick of his drops, I was sick of his injuries, but he brought something good to the Seattle passing game. He caught a lot of touchdowns, he could make big plays, and he was relatively clutch in playoff games, really. Always seemed to be in on the action there, so he has his issues. I don't agree with the fourth rounder, but it was what we had to do, I guess. So, where does that leave us right now? Let's put the Darrell Jackson thing behind us. Dion Branch, number one wide receiver, just traded for him from New England last year, middle of the season. Came on, did an alright job. His numbers weren't anything spectacular, but he was obviously working with a couple of different quarterbacks in an offensive system that kept changing because people kept getting hurt. So, pound for pound, I was pretty happy with how he turned out. Obviously, I think he was the MVP of the game against St. Louis, and that was a huge game that kind of saved our season, I think. Without that win, I don't know where things end up going later on. Anyway, yeah, I mean, he's a little guy, got good quickness, speed, and agility, runs pretty good routes, has pretty good hands. I mean, he had that one terrible game last year against San Diego, but otherwise his hands were good. I think we're paying him a bit too much. I didn't mind giving up the first rounder for him, but I do mind the fact that we're paying him so much, so we got to get that taken care of. He's also a good weapon in the running game. He can run pretty good reverses, I noticed, so I hope we do that a little more often this year. Behind him, DJ Hackett. I like this kid a lot. He came on last year when people got hurt, made big catches. He is the prototypical wide receiver. He's tall, he's big, he's fast, got great hands. Whenever we throw him the ball, it feels like it's money. I like DJ Hackett a lot, and I'm very happy for him now that he gets to start. I'm very eager to see him, go deep repeatedly this year because he is a great deep threat, and he brings pretty much everything you could want out of a wide receiver to the table. And I think you're going to be seeing a lot of him this year because I think he's our best receiver. And if that holds true, at some point in the season he becomes the number one wide receiver, I think he could have a 1,000-yard season. I think he's crazy talented. He's been hurt here and there, but I like this kid. I think he could be a star in this league. I'd watch out for him. I like him more than Branch. I mean, Branch is cool, but I think Hackett's got more potential. In the slot, right now, I guess you got Nate Burleson. Good kid. Disappointed last year. We paid him all that money, even though he's not going to see most of it. Trust me, I think his contract's actually going to play out to be like 4 years and $14.5 million. But he did all right. I mean, especially late in the season, he came on a little bit, started catching a few more balls, didn't drop many balls. His main contribution was in the return game, but that's a conversation for another day. I remember he of course had that touchdown catch against Chicago in the playoffs. He's coming on. I think he's going to make noise out of the slot this year, getting open against linebackers and safeties and nickelbacks. So I'm hoping he'll work out. I think last year was kind of an aberration. He had some things going against him. Behind him, Bobby Ingram, old man Bobby. I thought he was going to retire this offseason because of the Graves illness thing. But he's decided to stick around. We'll probably put him in certain situations. He's a good clutch guy. Third down receiver, I think. Knows how to get open out of the slot. So I guess I'm glad to have him around. And he should get on the field every now and then and make a couple of nice catches. But I'm not expecting that much. I mean, I think it's Burleson's time to step up and be that slot guy for us now. Um, Behind him, I think maybe this guy's on the practice squad, Ben Obomanu, second-year player out of Auburn. I don't know if he's ever going to do anything, but he's like a poor man's Hines Ward. Good possession receiver with good hands. I like him. Possibly. Maybe he's, as a fifth-string receiver, what else are you going to do? You don't go five wide very often. If a lot of people get hurt, then it becomes an issue, but you can't always plan for that sort of thing. You've also got Jordan Kent. He's a beast. He's like 6'4" or something. Nice 40 time, pretty fast, big. If he can, iron out his game, he could be something in this league. Beyond that, we've got a couple other wide receivers I know that, are probably going to just go on the practice squad or go on waivers or something. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with this position. I would go ahead and give it a B+. I think we got great depth. We don't have a superstar, but in the West Coast offense, I'll take depth. And it just occurred to me, I forgot to give a grade to my fullback situation. I'm going to go with an A- for that. I mean, we've got one of the most popular fullbacks around and a young, promising guy. Okay, enough of that. Wide receivers around the league. As a wide receiver, you're asked to go out onto the field, evade coverage by defensive backs, get open, and catch the ball in its most basic form. But as a wide receiver, you're expected to be able to run many different routes. Go in, go out, run a go route, come back, slant, all this different stuff. And you're supposed to be able to run them well, timely, nice, crisp routes. You're expected to be able to get off jams and play physical if needed. You're expected to be able to block in the running game. You need speed. You need good hands. You need to have good hands. That's probably the most important thing. You got to catch the ball first. You're expected to maybe be able to break tackles like Terrell Owens and Anquan Bolden do so well. You got possession receivers that are just expected to run little short routes and get open and secure the ball like Hines Ward and the recently retired Keyshawn Johnson. You've got great all-around receivers like Chad Johnson and Andre Johnson. You got pure deep threats like Santana Moss and Randy Moss. Yeah, I mean, there are all different kinds of wide receivers out there. It's hard to, go over all the different attributes you expect out of a wide receiver, but that's pretty much it. Catch the ball, break tackles, run after the catch, get open, play physical, block. Hines Ward, Keyshawn Johnson, two great blockers. Terrell Owens. Yeah. Who do I think is the best wide receiver in the game right now? I'm going with Torrey Holt. I know I'm in a bit of a minority here, but the guy brings his game. I mean, he can do a bit of everything. Runs great routes, can catch it short, medium, long, gets good yards after the catch, great concentration, and doesn't run his mouth very much that I know of. So, Torrey Holt. Overrated wide receiver, I think it's Santana Moss. He gets a lot of press for a guy that's only had one really stellar season and one other good season. Other than that, all he has is talent. He needs to show up one of these days and play several good seasons of good football before I can give him credit. I think he benefits from playing at Miami. Underrated wide receiver, I think it might be Lee Evans, man. Guy's crazy down in Buffalo. Big reason why J.P. Lossman is starting to shape up and look a little better. I like Evans a lot. Great deep threat. He's pretty much a pure deep threat, but he is fantastic at it. Yeah, okay, so Lee Evans for underrated, although there were quite a few other underrated guys, like Isaac Bruce and Terry Glenn. A lot of number twos out there in the league that don't get a lot of credit. But enough about that. Alright, that's about all I got to say about wide receivers, so see you guys later. I'm out.